G'day and welcome. We're going to tackle Doctor Doom. So I think its release is this year, 2026, in December 18th, something like that. So I'm really looking forward to that. Mr. Stark, I thought he was gone, he was dead, but no, he's coming back. So, all right, we're going to go from this here. It's very simple, 2 parts. It'll be a magnet attached, a few layer lines, etc. But we shall try and achieve a great outcome. So join me as we go from this to this. Right, sanding's done. So that was done with a 80 and 240. So not a bad result. But I just want to give it a quick minor touch up. I'm going to use a 400 on a sponge sandpaper and see how we go. If it needs it, maybe an 800, and then we'll apply the primer. I just want that little bit of a finer look because I'm going to be putting chrome down. So the chrome before that's going to be a black gloss base. So we really want to try and have that nice reflective look. So wet and dry. Righto, now we've come to the priming stage. We've finished off the wet sanding, not too bad. So with the priming, I'm going to use a automotive primer, which most of you would know that I do, that have watched my previous videos, simply because it has a really good drying time and it sands perfect. The blemishes next to none, and it's almost like a I wouldn't say like a self-leveling, but to me it is. So it comes into those grooves nicely. So I'm going to put about 100 ml of primer and 50 ml of thinner acrylic, and I'm going to apply that with a spray gun with a 1.4 millimeter nozzle. Always a good idea to have a pressure gauge. I'm going to apply that between 25 and 30 psi. And it's also good to have a filter in your spray gun. And that's to catch any little nasties that might be in the pipe or I may have not cleaned out properly. And also this has a water reservoir too, so it catches any sort of water from the pipe, from the compressor, to stop that getting onto your prop. All right, let's get into it. Ooh. So as you can see, I prefer to pour a little bit into my measurements first so I don't go over. So I know now that's 50 ml of primer of thinner, and then I add my 100 ml of primer. So about 150. So we always want to make sure we give this a good mix, because we don't want it going on fairly thick or clumpy. We want it optimized so we get that nice mist so it covers the prop well. So for you that don't know what a air purifier is, I have this behind me and it's just gone red. So generally that tells me that the fumes are a little bit strong, which as soon as I took the lid off the paint I could smell it. So it's a good idea to have that behind you as a warning, but I'm going to go outside in a second. But if I was doing airbrushing inside and that went off red like it is now, I would definitely switch to my mask. So it's just a bit of a PPE, nice safety feature. So that's fairly good consistency there. That's what we're after. Let's head outside. Okay, so the priming's done. Not too bad a result. Quite smooth. Details are good. But because we're going to be putting chrome on this, I want a really good gloss black outcome. So for that, I'm going to have to give this a slight sand. So that way, anything that shows here is going to show through on the chrome. So we want to reduce any sort of blemishes, imperfections, and yeah, but not too bad a job. And it's come up quite well. So we'll give this one a sand. I'm going to use 800 sandpaper. If I need to go more, I will, to 1000, maybe 1500, but I think 800 is fine because it's had quite a good result and there's hardly anything on there, which is good. So wet and dry, as per norm, let roll. Yep, very good. Quite happy with that. That'll be a good base for the black to get onto. So as we can see there, that's come up quite good after the sanding. But in particular, where the mouth is, there's a few hairline whiskers of where the filament was, which I haven't got in there. So we'll need to file that. So just a nice little simple filing tool. Yeah, that just tidies it up nicely. Just a quick little sand, and it just stops any of those little hairs coming through on the final finish. Okay, so now we come to paint. That's all sanded, filed down, looking good. I'm quite happy with that. So the formula I'm going to use is exactly the same as the prime in relation to the ratio. So we're going to go 100 ml of paint, 50 ml of acrylic thinner. Same again, applied through the 1.4, but we want to have a really good mist, and I'm after a fairly high gloss because I want that chrome to really bounce off, and it's only going to bounce off whatever the surface is that I put down. So I don't want any imperfections, no orange peel, nothing. I want to try and have it like glass, because unfortunately chrome, it'll give you as much as you give it. So we want to try and give it as much of a head start. All right, so we'll mix it again. Same thing, 100 ml of paint. But before I do that, I want to make sure I get 50 ml of thinner. So it's always a good idea to add your thinner first, because once you add the paint, if you add too much, then you've overcommitted. Messy. But yeah, so the yellow that I've pre-marked is 50 ml. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So then I can just throw that into here with my 100 ml of paint. Bit more, bit more, bit more. Happy days. Stop, 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 stop. There we go. And then the added amount there. Give it a good mix. You can actually feel the paint at the bottom of the paddle pop stick as you Whew, I should have a mask on. As you're mixing it, you can feel it coming off the bottom as the thinner comes around, because we really want to have yeah, that's not too bad. I thought it was too thick then. You want to have it quite atomized. So I just got to be careful when I stir, I'm not actually picking the paint off the bottom as a reference and then it sticks to the paddle pop. Then I'm thinking, oh, I need to add more thinner. So give it a good mix. Now that's what we're after. So it's kind of like a black skim milk. But yeah, that should be good. All right, so I'm going to have a little bit for my cleanup when I go outside. All right. I'll see you outside. So while the mask is curing with the black, I'm going to do something that I've never done before. So don't hold me to it if it goes wrong. I'm going to build the hood. When I say build, sorry, make, I went and got myself a pattern. And there's a few here with cloaks and what have you. I've never sewn before in my life, so it could just be a big disaster, but I'll give it a crack. I've got some needles, I don't even have a sewing machine, and I'm going to try and sew it with a bit of cotton twang. Anyway, anyhowsens, I hope I got enough. I should do. It's quite coarse, so I'm hoping when you do the folding and the stitching, it'll hold itself to some degree, not like cotton, it'll just collapse on itself. So the lady at the shop had quite a bit of fun listening to me trying to describe what I wanted. So let's have a look at this pattern. D, we want pattern D. Hello. Who's who in the zoo? A, B, C, D. Oh my God, what have I got myself into? Look, how hard can a cloak be? Oi, 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 what's going on here? I can see I'm going to be doing a lot of editing. We'll be right back. Oh my goodness, we're going to need a bigger boat. What in the world? Oh my, no. What in the world have I got myself into? Number 3, no. What? No, I want D. It's one of the alphabet become numbers. No, I need you to come back. Number 15, the hood, D. I found something. 15, here we go. Wow, all that just for a bit of this. Extra large, large, medium, small. Why did I possibly think this should be a piece of cake? How big's my head? 22 inch? 24 inch? Maybe I should have researched this before I... Well, I'll go and get a pattern. How hard can it be? Right, so I've cut the bit out for the hood. I hope. My goodness. How many trees were cut down to make this one pattern? Right, so I've managed to pin the outside along with my fingers numerous of times. Oh. So now I'm going to have to try and sew. Yes, so I've pinned over the hem. Oh my goodness, this is so confusing. And then I turn it the right way around because it's inside out at the moment. That's how I read it. Alright, let's see how we go. Oh, look at that! That's huge! I think it's too huge because it's going to leave big holes there. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Alright. Happy days. Alright, it fits. Very good. Probably all the ladies out there are saying, oh my goodness me. Oh, what have I done here? There's a needle on the other. Ow. Seriously? So this has had time to cure. The black has finished gassing off. Not too bad. Obviously you want to make sure before we put the chrome on that this is cured. You don't want that gas to keep pushing out, because when you put that nice thin layer of chrome down, it will crack it and put fine lines through it if it hasn't cured. So I'm happy with the amount of time, which has been 3 days I've left it to sit. So I'm ready to apply the chrome. So before I do that though, I'm going to apply the magnets, so then the helmet can obviously fit together like so. And yeah, let's get into that. The magnets I'm going to use are an 8x2, very simple, straightforward. Put them off into the hole. The magnets are very strong. So into the hole, we're going to apply glue just to hold them in there. Very straightforward. Obviously make sure you get your Polaris right, your north and your south, because if you have that wrong there, it won't go together. So glue, just a normal super glue, straightforward. All right, so the magnets have had time to set into the two parts of the helmet. We're going to apply the chrome. So I'm using a super chrome from AK. Not bad, pretty good. Had good results. With chrome, 6-8 inches away from your prop. Not too close that it goes on and clumpy, but not too far away that it's going on there, but it's looking grey. We've got to get that happy medium. Get rid of those marks, because anything that's on there is going to show through. The gun's working fine. You can also go over with a fine air mist before applying that chrome in. Let's have some fun. This is pre-mixed. You don't have to mix it. What I do need to do is my PPE. I'll be right back. So now we'll apply the hot glue gun to hold this in place. Oh, just a tip, you can work out which is which. So yeah, when putting this in with the light, you can see through, but the other way you can't look in. So whichever has the brighter side, yep, so this is the correct way. Alright, so there we go, that's the ice put in, very simple. Glued in, everything's tucked away now, nice and easily. So when I put that onto my face, nothing will get caught. Happy days. So that's what we look like. Alright, let's have a look, see how she goes. That's a look, isn't it? Cyborg. Alright. Haha. So there we have it. That's the end of the Doctor Doom mask. Quite effective, quite simple, very easy build. So thanks for joining me. And again, we'll see you on the next one.